Sleep apnea is a medical disease in which a sleeping person stops breathing or almost stops breathing. They do this repeatedly throughout the night. So when they stop breathing, it's called an apnea. If they almost stop breathing, it's called a hypopnea. And this goes on throughout the night. Uh, the patient may be unaware that he or she stops breathing. And of course, when you stop breathing, there are consequences. Uh, in this case, the oxygen goes down. This is the oxygen in your arterial blood, which is feeding the whole body. So you stop breathing, and then there's a drop in oxygen. And then, if it's enough drop in oxygen, it can arouse the patient, and the patient will start breathing again. Sometimes you can start breathing again without having an arousal or near awakening. This goes on throughout the night. Sometimes it's worse in some stages of sleep than others. For instance, in a stage of sleep called rapid eye movement sleep, it can get very bad. Um, and that leads to the second part of your question: is it serious? Is it bad for you? And the answer is unequivocally yes. We now know that it actually kills people. It might be equivalent to something like smoking 2 packs a day for 20 years. We call it 40 pack years. So it's like heavy smoking. It kills you. And over a period of, let's say 20 years, uh, if you have the severe form of sleep apnea, you probably are almost have a 50-50 chance of dying uh, from the sleep apnea. So it certainly can cause heart attacks and strokes, atrial fibrillation, high blood pressure. But in addition to those, it causes a lot of other things that you might not expect. For instance, it causes diabetes. It can actually even cause cancer. So we have here, we're dealing with a common disease, very common. Approximately 20% of adults have this disease. So it's very, very common. It's as common as diabetes or high blood pressure. It's a chronic disease like diabetes and high blood pressure. But another aspect of it is that it's not well recognized by the medical profession or community. Um, this means that it's not readily diagnosed. And in fact, about 80% of people who have sleep apnea actually are not diagnosed. So this is staggering. So it's a very common disease that is has serious consequences for the person who has it, and it's relatively undiagnosed and untreated compared to things like diabetes and high blood pressure.